Johnson County Council, September the 8th, 2025. Amy, will you do roll call, please?
Pamela Burton,
Present.
Jonathan Myers,
Here.
Melinda Griesemer,
Here.
John Mallers,
Here.
Michelle Ann Graves,
Here.
John Dittmers,
Here.
Ron Bates.
Present.
I'm going to give an invocation. Care to join me? Lord, grant us the gift of clear communication in this meeting. May our words be guided by your truth, promoting understanding and effective collaboration. May unity be the foundation of our time together, and may your love guide every decision. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Stand for pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here to take a motion for approval of tonight's agenda, 9/8/25 with no changes.
So moved.
Second.
We have our motion by Mrs.
Michelle.
Graves, a second by Mr. Myers. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Passes. This point, we will have public comment, limited to 5 minutes and agenda items only. If there's anyone from the audience that would like to speak, please come to the podium and state your name and address for the record. Seeing no one coming forward in the audience, we will move on to item B, which is a public hearing concerning an additional appropriation on the Johnson County Redevelopment Authority Lease Rental Bonds, Series 2025. We will convene a public hearing today, September the 8th, 2025 at 6 p.m. to receive comments on County Council Ordinance 2025-06, an ordinance of the Johnson County Council appropriating proceeds of the sale of certain property to the Johnson County Redevelopment Authority. Members of the public appearing at this hearing have the right to be heard regarding the ordinance. Is there anyone present this evening who would like to be heard?
Anyone online?
With no one appearing to comment, we will now close the public comment portion of the hearing. Now I'm prepared to take a motion on the ordinance 2025-26.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by Mrs. Graves,
Second.
a second by Mr. Dittmers. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved. And I'm sorry, not in favor. Hearing none, approved. If there is no further business to discuss, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the public portion of this hearing.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Mrs. Griesemer, a second by Mr.
No.
Bates.
Great.
No, it's not me.
Great.
I'm sorry, Graves. Okay, Amy, did you figure out who it was? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Moving on to routine matters, consent agenda. By single motion, the board approves the following items, which may include salary ordinances, amendments, additional appropriations, reductions, and transfers. Any items listed on the consent agenda may be removed by a council member and moved to the regular agenda. So at this time, if anyone has anything they'd like to pull from this consent agenda to be discussed, please make it known. If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve C, routine matters consent agenda.
We have a motion by Mr. Myers, a second by Mr. Bates. Further discussion? All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, passes. Moving on to item D, salary ordinances, amendments, additional appropriations, reductions, and transferred opioid restricted funds. Mr. Kevin
Wall.
Walls is not available this evening. He had a prior commitment and could not be here. The items, Tiffany, would you briefly explain where the opioid funds came from and how the process works? I am on that committee, and all of these items on here have been approved for the amount of money indicated, and this is to appropriate those funds to be used. They're all very worthy causes, and they've all been discussed thoroughly by that board. And I have nothing but good for me as a member of that board to state about this committee and the purpose and the direction of these funds. So if there's anything that you want to add before we open up for discussion, if there is any.
Just that this is the second of many dispersions that'll go over the next, I believe, at least 10 years, probably a lot more. There's a new settlement, I think 7.5 billion that's coming out. The commissioners actually just approved their disbursement and to be included in that settlement under the state of Indiana with the Attorney General's office. Under statute, this settlement came through the state of Indiana. The Attorney General's office deposits it once a year. I think we have around 2 million at the moment. The commissioners formed a board of all the local units last year. So they have this advisory board that makes recommendations to the commissioners. And then the commissioners had voted to accept those recommendations, which you see here, the disbursements of 205.
Yep. So I'll name them briefly just to so the public will know. It's Celebrate Recovery Center, Terra Treatment Center, Infants in Bloom, and Riley Children's Foundation. So further discussion? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve item D1, opioid restricted funds.
And I'll second motion that.
We have a motion by Mr. Myers, a second by Ms. Grismer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Number 2 is general fund courthouse maintenance. Good evening, Mr. Miller.
How's everybody?
Only as good as you.
You're doing well then.
All right.
Jason Miller, Courthouse Maintenance. I'm here to ask for an additional appropriation of $50,000 for utilities.
Cost of doing business.
Yeah, I wish I wasn't here.
Just a quick question. 50,000. The frame of reference for how that's the right number. Could it be 40? Could it be 60? Is that a best guess?
It's my best guess.
Okay.
I'm hoping I don't have to come back.
Okay.
I'm hoping.
Spend it wisely, you're not getting any.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the weather gets cooler and electricity bills go down. So,
Yeah, thank you. I just wondered that.
yeah, it's just best guess.
And we did budget for increases for 2026, right?
Absolutely did, yeah.
Great, thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll ready for a motion.
I move to approve. Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Dittmers for item number 2 under D number 2, and a second by Mr. Bates. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Number D3, lit correction / rehab facilities, community corrections adult. So we meet again today.
Yep. Steve Kermode, Assistant Director, Community Corrections. I've had some discussions about getting our body scanner kind of up to snuff on some updates that need to happen, and we are asking for an additional appropriation line item to be able to get that done.
Appreciate you keeping the board informed on what's going on. I realize you can't always talk about all the little details out there, but this appears to be, after looking at the paperwork, a very good deal for the people to work on or to under contract or to take care of the machinery you need.
Yes.
Okay. Discussion?
I would make a motion to approve item D3 as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Mrs. Graves, a second by Mr. Bates. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item D4, food and beverage tax. We have our coroner.
Good evening, Michael Pruitt, Johnson County Coroner, here to seek additional appropriation for our autopsy or the pathology fund. We're at 32 autopsies this year. We had a total of 24 for last year. And we also received a price increase from our pathology company after budget hearings last year. So, and we're paying for autopsies out of Marion County that originated Johnson County. So we're a little short. We figure 3 autopsies with the remaining months each month. Hopefully, if we keep it to that, then this 30,000 will take care of that. We're almost at a zero balance or a negative right now.
Unfortunately as well, cost of doing business.
I did have a question, Mike.
Yes.
How, you mentioned that the pathology costs have gone up. How much did those go up?
1,600 to 2,200 an autopsy.
Wow, so more than double.
Yeah, I mean, we took a pretty good increase, but they didn't get the increases out to any of the coroner's offices that they serve until after everybody's budget hearings. So
Are we locked into just one vendor or?
pretty much,
Okay.
they're kind of an exclusive group. Most of the state of Indiana uses private autopsy firms, and this is the one that all the surrounding counties use around us. So they've been a top-notch organization. So got nothing bad to say about them. They just increased their prices.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Further discussion? Hearing none.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, hearing none.
I move to approve D3, that correct?
D4.
D4.
Or, excuse me, for food, yes, food and beverage tax. Coroner number tax 1157 through 0107.
Second.
We have a first by Mr. Bates, a second by Mr. Ditmers. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, under item D5 is local road and street, our highway department.
Good evening, Luke Maston, Highway Supervisor. Item 5, 6, 7, and 8 are highway related. There are 3 safety projects which we received federal funding awards through NDOT for. These appropriations are needed to fund the design phases of those 3 projects. Federal funds are participating in design. So items 5, A, B, and C are the local portions of the design contracts for those projects. Items 6, 7, and 8 are the corresponding federal aid, new federal aid funds for the federal balance.
Discussion?
Just one, how much, I guess, scrutiny do we have to give them because these are funds coming from the state and federal government?
There are definitely some hoops that we have to jump through in terms of requirements that we have to meet, conditions that we have to meet or agree to under the contract. These particular projects are funded with 90% federal funds. So oftentimes it's worth a little extra headache in order to have a significant portion of the project receive federal funding.
Thank you.
I have a question, please. Are any of these where the proposed Dollar General is on US 31, old US 31?
No, they are not. There is one of the intersections is a little bit north of there at Old 31 and 250 South. That intersection is Old 31 and 300 South.
Okay, thank you.
Luke, I probably should know this. What's a conflict warning sign? What's an example of that?
You shouldn't know it because we've not put any in yet.
Oh,
It's I would say fairly new technology. If you drive State Road 144 out towards Mooresville, there's a set of these signs at I forget what the road is now, but it's right before you get to Mooresville. Essentially, they look like normal warning signs, but they're illuminated. So if you're stopped at the minor road and there's traffic coming, if it trips the pavement loop detectors,
Okay.
it will flash a sign that tells you there's traffic coming in case you can't see. And vice versa, if you're on the main road and there's someone sitting at the stop sign, there are signs that light up for you as well. We're actually going to be putting one of these in. We finally got the signs in, so we'll be installing it out at 144 and 625 West this fall. These projects are kind of a continuation of that mindset. We identified a couple places where we either have very high traffic turning movements and high crash rates. The intersection at 300 West and 625 South has some pretty significant sightline problems. So we're hoping that these projects will help make those intersections safer.
Thank you.
Further discussion? Hearing none, I'm prepared to take a motions for item D, 5, 6, 7, and 8 on the agenda as presented.
Move to approve.
We have,
D 5, 6, 7, and 8, is that right?
Second.
we have a motion by Mr. Dittmers, a second by Mr. Myers. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Luke.
Thank you.
Under E, there is nothing under other business. Moving on to F, old and new business. The first item under F, number 1, is approval of ordinance 2025-06. An ordinance of Johnson County Council appropriating proceeds of a sale of a certain property to the Johnson County Redevelopment Authority. That would be the ordinance we just opened the public meeting for at the beginning. So if there's no further discussion, I'm prepared to take a motion.
You already voted on it.
So we don't have to do that again. Okay,
Yay.
thank you, Amy. F2, adoption of the Johnson County pay philosophy position. And this was, has been presented a couple of times. This is the final motion to approve our pay philosophy and that we approved earlier, and there has been no changes.
I move to approve the adoption of the Johnson County pay philosophy position.
A motion by Mr. Bates,
Second.
second by Mrs. Graves. Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Number 3 on F3 is approval of ordinance 2025-08. This is an ordinance adopting County of Johnson, Indiana Job Classification System and Maintenance Plan. This is, at our last meeting, we talked about edits to the ordinance. The original draft, as everybody had the opportunity to review, included a subcommittee, which our rules don't allow for a subcommittee. Those edits have now been made to this ordinance, and this information will be considered by full council and not a subcommittee. This ordinance lays out a clear process for elected officials and department heads if they want WIS to review job description. Once it's approved tonight, the proper forms will go out to everyone, so the process can officially start after tonight's meeting. This will cover new and all requests, and title changes, as well as the ones we've already received from the Sheriff's Office, the Health Department, Fleet, and the Recorder's Office since Tuesday's budget hearings. Tiffany, I believe you wanted to reference some of the emails you may have gotten since Tuesday.
Yeah, just that I'm not ignoring any department or elected official. I'm just waiting for this process because there's additional paperwork that I will receive from Wiz on how to handle this process. It's probably just your updated red line job description from what was sent. And then there's an additional questionnaire. And there's one other form, and it's something that Wiz needs in order to decide if it should be reclassified or what the conditions are. So that will all be done. And once I have those, I'll send those out.
We do a mass sending to every director
I think so, just
So they'll
because,
have them on file.
yeah, and then the auditor's office and I will have copies just in case we get one-offs and,
Okay, so
you
they
know,
will
so everybody
be
has it.
readily and easily available, and I know everyone up here has looked at the maintenance plan and the step-by-step directions, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It's been reviewed, so I think it's a good plan, and I think at least it gives us some walking orders in a direction to move in toward to rectify something we've never had before. So I appreciate everyone's hard work. Further discussion?
Yes, please. Something we never do in government. Timing. So are we considering these for the second, before the second reading or during the second reading? And I'm asking the entire council that question,
So,
Are you
yeah,
considering what? Sorry, I'm misunderstanding what you're asking.
Are we considering what?
well. What I have heartburn over is if they have to wait until 2026 budget period, then it's until 2027 before any change is made. Unless they come before us for a additional appropriation.
I'll make an attempt to address that. I understand your question now. I'm sorry, and then you can continue on. Tonight, once this is passed, assuming it passes and the steps are provided and the forms are provided and the procedures are provided, that is something that can be immediate. So I believe what will happen, if someone has one they want to submit, they will get the information together, provide it all to Tiffany to make sure everything's filled out for us, and it'll come before us. So at our next meeting, which would be October, right?
Well, it doesn't open until your,
November.
yeah,
Right.
November 1st.
So we would approve those. They would immediately go to WIS, and assuming there are errors or there are problems, it may not be done, from what I understand, by the second reading. They'll do it as quickly as they can, but it should be done in time before the first pay in 2026. If there's adjustments needed, we should be able to go back and
And it's
rectify.
just like any other, not to cut you off, but like just how we do any other additional appropriation. If we have problems with the year, we can retro it back
Mhm.
depending on what you guys approve. So it shouldn't be an issue as far as next year if there's an error or reclassification is needed.
We should be able to pick it up before the first pay in 2026.
Okay, that's very good, because I know that they've had to wait until this point in time of the first and second reading to make those adjustments, and for us to delay it another year would be pretty tough.
And that's what you're stating in terms of if WIS didn't get it right. Is that what you're?
Well, they will
trying to get?
review, I'm not the expert here. I've just been one of the ones to try to do a lot of the groundwork.
Sure.
From what I understand, no one would really want to submit it unless something was wrong. So that would be my thinking. And I think they started submitting job descriptions almost a year ago. So I know it seems like there's a lot here at the last minute, but this process has been going on for over a year, or right at a year. So the best we can do at this point is provide a plan to correct it. Do the best we can do to get it corrected before the first pay in 2026. That would be the only answer I would have.
So
But
it could become mute then.
Right, but I don't think we're going to, short of a handful, I don't think we're looking at a massive influx of, because normally, from what I have learned, it takes either that job required additional licensing, additional education, additional degrees, something major, significant to change the classification. It's a new employee, there's been restructuring in the office, something massive or major has gone on. I don't think a matter of I'm now doing part of this job and part of this job makes a difference on the classification change, but I'm not the professional at that. This HR company is. So I don't look for there to be a massive influx of everybody wanting to to provide that. But if there is, that there's a plan in place, and the goal would be to have those corrections made prior to the first pay in 2026.
And I would hope that we would have the final say on council by a vote of the entire council and not just be reliant upon the external source.
I'm assuming anything that council passes would be a vote of the full council, regardless of what it was.
Thank
I
you.
mean, it always has been, so I would assume it would be.
Thank you.
I mean, you
It
vote if
wouldn't
you want
be-
to send it, and then if it's sent and yes or whatever
Right,
they recommend, and then.
All decisions to go to WIS and to approve what they say as at the mercy of this council, so.
I for one would just like to say, coming from the other side of the council's table, I'm glad if this does get adopted and passed tonight, that there is now a process available for elected officials and department heads. I never had one before. I had an issue in the treasurer's office, and it took 2 years to get it finalized. So I think this is a very positive step. It is objective. It's fair for everyone across the board, and I couldn't be happier. It has my full support.
Go ahead.
I just want to say something here. Well, I support this process. However, I'm kindly and respectfully asking that if when we take a vote, if it's not unanimous, that it not be referred to as, well, the council approved. Does that make sense? Because there might be people who didn't approve, so.
And I'm not sure legally how to handle that, Melinda, but I think by having a public vote and noting who's voting aye and who's voting nay, and it goes on public record that, you know, the majority of the council is the council's vote. So unless there's a legality there that I'm stating wrong, I don't know of anything that we could change, but certainly we'll take time to make sure it's noted, those that vote nay, assuming it passes or fails, either way.
You could call for a roll call vote in
Yeah,
that instance, just to make sure,
do
yeah.
that. So is there any more discussion? Hearing none, Amy, I'd like to call for a roll call vote on item number under F.
We need a
Through-
motion.
Oh,
I would motion.
I'm sorry,
Yep.
I'm jumping ahead of myself.
Yeah, you ready for a motion?
Motion for a motion, yeah.
I would motion to approve item F3, approval of ordinance 2025-08 as presented.
The motion by Mrs. Graves.
The number 4 goes with it too.
I'm sorry? Yes, it's
Oh,
three.
it's
taken
three
together.
together.
Thank you. My one motion, and I messed it up.
I'll second.
We have a second by Mr. Mallers. Further discussion? Amy, a roll call vote, please.
Ron Bates,
Aye.
John Dittmers,
Aye.
Michelle Ann Graves,
Aye.
Pamela Burton,
Aye.
John Mallers,
Aye.
Melinda Griesemer,
Aye.
Jonathan Myers.
Aye.
Thank you. Passes. Okay, F number 5. Approval of ordinance 2025 or 2025-09. This is an ordinance of the Johnson County Council authorizing the issuance of general obligation bonds for the purpose of providing funds to acquire vehicles, acquire and install certain equipment, complete certain projects, and make certain improvements and renovations, and to pay the costs of insurance of the bonds.
So this is just an introduction. This is actually not something you're voting on now. Will be in October. But Brian presented this, Commissioner Baird presented this at the second half of the budget readings, I believe. So he described it, and that's what's before you, but it's actually going to be voted on in October.
And this is pretty much standard operating procedure as in the past,
Yes, this
correct?
is
On
just
our
the
general POB bonds.
Mhm.
Right.
And
So I-
list of those uses, I think.
Yes, it's in it should be in there.
Should be in your packet.
So now would be, now would be the time to have, if there's discussion,
questions, I
If
can
there's
bring back to
discussion
them.
or questions on approving or the first information on the ordinance for the GOB bond.
I think this is pretty standard to what we've done every year. It helps pay for, a variety of different capital, improvements or assets that the county needs to operate and, provide all the services that we do. So it doesn't look like it's anything different than what we've approved any other year.
Is this a 1 year bond?
Every 2 years, isn't it? Bonds every 2 years.
2 years.
And we get the best, try to get the best interest rate possible.
Yes, we
Absolutely,
do.
they're diligent. Barbie's got something to say.
Come on up.
Barb Davis, County Administrator. So the GOB bonds are usually done every year, but payments are based upon the amount of the bond. I think this one might be maybe a 5-year payoff.
I think it's a 5-year payoff, yeah. But we can make sure for sure at the next meeting, when we're actually voting on it, have clarification.
So I have a question about SB one. Does it affect this? And the timing of it?
According to Mike Porter, when he done his presentation, this will keep your tax rate pretty steady.
Okay.
And so that's why I went ahead and done a bond. Now, future, if they change, SB one or something, it could affect it.
Okay.
Doing a bond every year. It might be more like every 2 years.
Isn't that what we did in the past, Barbie? About every 2 years, wasn't it?
In the very beginning, when we started it, it was like that, but recently we've been doing one every year.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Barbie. I think we're out of agenda items,
Nope,
correct?
we got one more. Number
Uh-oh.
6.
I missed it.
Fine.
6.
Oh, sorry. Approval of ordinance 2025-10, an ordinance amending and superseding ordinance 83-1, restructuring the Johnson County, Indiana Park Board as authorized by Indiana Code 3610-3. I remember this now. This is changing the number of board members that are appointed by the council, correct? And that information was emailed to us on explaining the situation, so it doesn't affect, it gives the council a bigger interest in the board, correct?
You previously had, oh.
No.
I don't even know. Oh, there we go. You
Right.
previously had 2 appointments and you'll continue to have 2 appointments.
Mhm.
The commissioners will also have 2 appointments and then the sheriff will have 1 appointment.
Okay,
So these are the only board members that would be on the board?
Correct.
okay.
Previously, we didn't have the sheriff, it was,
It was a circuit
Judge.
court judge had an appointment and then there was an appointee from, I believe, Soil and Water and from the extension office.
and this was from what, 1983?
I was gonna say, no one could remember
Right.
originally when we discussed this, how they came up with those
Yeah.
entities on the board, so.
Yeah, and the statute changed a few years ago, and so we're kind of aligning with what the statute says now.
So we'll open for discussion if anyone would like to discuss it.
I did have a question, Miss Taylor. So do the current board members that are on there now, do they finish out their terms? How does that work? Are they just tomorrow they're done? What does that look like?
I think the plan was to go through the end of the year, right? At
Mhm.
least for the judge's appointment, it expires at the end of the year, so it's an
Okay.
easy transition to change over, but
And then the statute starts in January, is usually what the
yeah,
original verbiage.
we set the effective date, for
Okay.
January.
So then the soil and water wouldn't have any appointees as of January 1st?
Correct.
Thank you.
Further discussion? Hearing none and prepared for a motion?
Move to approve.
We have a first by Mr. Dittmers,
Second.
second by Mr. Bates. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Now, no other agenda items. I would,
Did we have some
To adjourn?
discussion?
I'm sorry.
Did we have some discussion?
Absolutely.
I'm not on the agenda. If I need to go there, so I need to go.
Fine, Go ahead, sir.
I just want to start addressing what our needs are gonna have to be going forward on restructuring our debt. And I wanted to talk to everyone on the council to find out if now is the time to start looking at some kind of comprehensive audit, if we need to bring in somebody to look at our finances, to see what direction we need to go, what lit we need to do to replace property taxes, and what amount. So there are a lot of balls in the air that are being created by SB1. And I just am getting a little heartburn here on top of the other things. Regarding, some of these things, we're gonna have to kind of balance into the lit, into the edit, into the public safety consideration, taking them away from the general fund as much as we can, getting away from property taxes. We're gonna have to start talking with our municipalities, Greenwood and Franklin, Edinburgh, Whiteland, New Whiteland, Bargersville. They're gonna be taking some of this responsibility on, as they'll have that ability by this. And just a lot of things I wanted to open up a discussion about, but I would like to see us get some professional help.
I guess my first thought would be, is it something that our county fiscal advisor can do, Mike Reuter, or are you? I don't know. That's the only.
That's what I'm throwing out there.
mean,
I don't know if it's Mike, if it's a combination of Mike and Peters, or, if it's somebody different. I don't know, maybe something to entertain, but I don't think we need to be waiting very long, because we have deadlines that are going to be coming up. Not this year, but in future year, that's going to be pretty important to hit.
Yeah, I agree with you, John, on that. I think that probably maybe that's something, well, Pam, is that something that you want to look into, or is this something you want to assign one of us to do?
I'm open. Right now, I'm winding up on budget, so no, I'm not gonna commit myself any further. Anyone on here that's willing to take that on? Mr. Myers, if you're willing to take on whatever research you'd like to present, we'll be happy to do it. Or anyone else that might be available.
Be glad to just touch up, but I'll need some help from all six of you. This is a collaborative effort
Yeah.
at this point. And, we're looking at a lit rate right now that's pretty low, actually 1.4%. And the state has already told us when we met with them up there that we have a lot of tools in our drawer that we're not using. And so they're expecting us to pick up some things, and they can go up to 2.9%, but I'm not advocating for anything at this point in time. I'm advocating for direction.
I wonder, would our county councils association, if you wanted to reach out to them, maybe there's a publication or something that could get us pointed in the right direction. I'm all for being proactive rather than reactive.
Sure.
I just don't know if that'd be a good resource. It's that Mike Reuter are the first two things that come to my head.
Yeah.
It could be. I only just wanted to have a little caution, because I know in the upcoming session, there's going to be significant changes.
Sure.
And so it absolutely makes sense to start the process, but just know that it could look entirely different in a year.
Guaranteed?
No guarantee.
Yeah, I remember the fellow we heard in that gave the presentation up at the counties. He was pretty stern. And I know that's his job, is being stern, but
I think he was actually the author of the bill,
Yeah.
wasn't he? I forget Thompson, yeah.
Tom.
yeah, so, we're looking at quite a bit of a difference here. I forget what the amount is. It's in the 40 millions, I think.
My,
That we're going to be in reduced revenue for the next 3 years, if it goes through. So go ahead and.
my concern about Mike Reuter is his availability. I don't see him really being available much to be involved in this. Perhaps maybe he could throw out ideas initially to get started, but I think probably we should plan to go with another provider.
Yeah. We'll take that. And suggest to Mike, you know, that we have concerns, so maybe he can comment to that. But I think that we owe him to be the first call, and then we'll go from there.
I agree. And I think, like Michelle said, I think the County Council Association will be a good place as time goes on, as we get closer. We do have a little bit of time, and the AIC as well are gonna have all sorts of resources available,
Okay,
but I agree with you.
I'll keep everybody informed as to what I'm doing. Try to stay out of trouble.
Any more discussion?
Thank you for listening.
Thank you, sir. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Graves, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.